Let's take you now to Parliament because this week the House will take a crucial vote to determine the fate of Finance Minister Ken Ofori Atta on the vote of censure filed by NDC MPs in the House. The debate and vote on the censure motion will be taken on Thursday following the expiration of the 7-day notice. And the Constitution obviously mandates a Speaker to act. And speaking to journalists, Deputy Minority Whip Ahmed Ibrahim indicated that all NDC MPs have been instructed not to miss seatings in order to get the required number.
The motion of censure is slated to be moved on Thursday, the 10th of November 2022. And the Majority Chief Whip, the Honorable Mutaka Mubarak, has sounded a note of caution to all minority MPs that all the 136 MPs must be in the chamber on Thursday, 2022. So any member who may absent himself from the chamber is at his own risk. And bear in mind that the whole Ghana is interested in this motion. The Minister of Finance himself is duly served to come and open his defense on Thursday. So everybody must be prepared that on Thursday, the motion of censure is going to be moved. And the motion stands in the name of the Honorable Minority Leader, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, and Honorable Minority Chief, Honorable Mutaka Mubarak. So what we are to do is to make sure that as the first Deputy Minority Whip, my boss is not here. So I'm using this medium to whip our members to the chamber on Thursday. Our constituents are interested in this motion. The majority MPs, all the 137 majority MPs, are also saying that the motion to censure Ken Ofori Atta is a collective responsibility. So now we were all doing press conferences. The ball is set and it's in our court. On Thursday, whether we want Ken Ofori Atta to be impeached or to be censured, the opportunity is being given to us by the right honorable speaker. In my 14 years stay in this house, this is the first time a motion of censure is going to be moved in the chamber. And this is the first time the minister will be given the opportunity to come and open his defense. Me, if it were to be me, I don't think I will wait to come and be opening some defense, because if you look at the motion itself, it has been advertised with some of the parliamentary questions that the minister came to answer as some of the evidence that we are serving to the generality of Ghanaians. The minister's company, the data bank, benefiting from some of the loans that he's been getting, the commissions and all those things. They are all here. He came to answer the question on the floor. So we are waiting to see as to whether Thursday he's coming to repeat the same thing.
And for the vote of censure to be secured, 183 MPs must vote for it, with the minority having only 136 MPs. 46 NPP MPs must join them. Ahmed Ibrahim believes that the NPP MPs will not go against their call to get the finance minister sacked and will vote to remove him.
The Constitution is supreme. And don't forget, the House has already been poisoned by allegations upon allegations. So whether there are substance in those allegations or not, all are going to be proved on Thursday. And we are duty bearers. We are the leaders of the country. You cannot be making allegations upon allegations, lamentations upon lamentations. We must move from the Old Testament into the New Testament. We must walk the talk. They staged a press conference, a group of 95. Is the president superior to the Constitution? The Constitution is supreme. And the Constitution says that once the motion has been received by the Speaker, he must work, Article 82.3, he must work upon it. It must be debated and passed within 14 days. So the Speaker cannot, the President pleading cannot supersede the supremacy of the Constitution. And therefore, we have sworn an oath to make sure that we defend the 1992 Constitution. So on Thursday, the Haruna Idrisu and Mutaka motion is going to be moved. It will be put into vote. What we are looking for from our side is that all the 136 minority MPs, we must register our 136. When those allegations came, you didn't hear any minority names inside. So as to whether the majority are going to walk the talk to make sure that the motion, that there is a press conference that is staged, that Ken Ofori Atta must go, they still stand by it. It's over to them. But I strongly believe that per the information and the signals I'm picking this morning, they are still going to walk the talk. And the best thing for the president and the minister to do would have been there for the Minister for Finance to say that enough is enough. After all, he's the longest serving finance minister.
Well, so on what basis is minority laying claim and remaining confident that this motion will be sustained by the House? Joining us in studio is Kweku Asante, our parliamentary correspondent. And Kweku, let's quickly go through the demands and what it is that we're getting from the minority as the grounds on which they will be pushing for that motion to be sustained by the House.
So, Blessed, there are about 7 of them, mainly having to do with some allegations they made against the finance minister about conflict of interest regarding his data bank, the company he co-founded, and their transaction with government. That is one of the key pillars that the minority is anchoring this motion on. They are also raising significant concerns about the current economic challenges. We've heard about legal scholars who have said that the current challenges with the economy is not enough basis to seek to remove a finance minister. Well, that is part of the reasons why the minority is moving this motion. They're also saying that the minister is very much incompetent and that if he's left to still handle the economy, by the end of the year, everything would have collapsed. So we can hear Ahmed Ibrahim recounting the general positions why they think that the finance minister, Ken Ofori Atta, must go.
The G95, we don't have the luxury of time. And where we are, even if you listen to the speaker, that the mere slating of the motion and advertising the motion that Ghanaia's parliament has taken a move to censure the Minister for Finance alone, the cedi is appreciating against the dollar. It used to be the reverse was the case before. So clearly, Ghanaians are not just saying we don't want the finance minister, but what we are saying is that where we are now, this finance minister cannot play the game. And I strongly believe you are asking, should we not be able to garner all the votes, 183 votes, to make sure that the minister goes? What next? There is no constitutional provision which says that the motion must be slated once. We are saying that the minister has failed. And if the president and the majority side relent on their mandate and the minister is still maintained, when the economy continues to be in crisis, we can't keep on blaming Russia, Ukraine. Our finance minister is not Putin. Neither is our finance minister Zelensky. And we cannot be blaming Russia, Ukraine. We must domesticate our effort. But Ken Ofori Atta, cannot do that. So the earlier we open the gate for him to go, the better. And that is why we still stand by our motion that no matter how dangerous the House is present, the motion will be moved on Thursday. And all the 136 minority MPs are going to be there. And we are going to move our motion, vote for the motion to make sure. This is going to be live telecast. So if on that day you are not in your seat, it's you and your constituency. And I strongly believe that my colleagues on the minority side, we are going to be there.
So let's do some analysis on the figures. 136 MPs on the side of the NDC. They need over 40 more?
They need about 47 from the majority side. That should be easy if the majority MPs who address the new conference saying that Finance Minister Ken Ofori Atta must be sacked are willing to vote with them.
Okay, initially that was about 80 in all. So 80. So assuming without admitting that all of these 80 MPs haven't changed their minds,
and they vote with the minority,
the assumption is that this motion will go through because they would have fine excess of the 44
or 47 that they need. Indeed, the majority leader himself has been speaking. He says that the position that was taken by those 80 MPs is just now not their position. It's now the entire position of the entire caucus. So that issue runs deep. And if that is anything to go by, the assumption is that that motion is going to succeed. The minority are able to get these NPP MPs to join them. The motion will succeed. But there are technicalities. The president met the NPP MPs, discussed with them and said that, hold on, let Finance Minister Ken Ofori Atta finish the presentation of the 2022 budget. Let him conclude negotiations with the IMF. Then we can talk. So if that is anything to go by, that the party has now accepted that position, then the NDC is going to have a hard time trying to get these numbers. But let's be aware that this vote of censure is by secret. Nobody knows anyone's vote,
right.
So anything can happen.
So let's talk about the parliamentary proceedings itself. What's expected to happen on that day?
So when the motion was filed, a 7-day notice was expected to be granted. 7-day sittings has already elapsed tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the last day for that 7-day notice. Right. On Wednesday, ordinarily, the motion can be moved. But the indication we are getting from the majority is that they want to do that on Thursday. So on Thursday, whatever business it is that is there in the House, they can transact. But the minority, the Haruna Idrisu, and his chief whip, Muntaka Mubarak, will now move the motion. When they move the motion, the finance minister is expected to be heading his defense because the minority would have to canvass a certain argument in support of why they want Finance Minister Ken Ofori Atta to be removed from office. The finance minister himself may appear or elect a lawyer or some other person, an expert of his choice, to do so representation on his behalf. There have been questions as to whether or not a lawyer, who is not a member of parliament, can be allowed on the floor of the House to make any such point. I'm sure on Thursday, those positions...
And beyond that as well, there's the question also about the minister himself and as to whether or not after the passage of the motion, that would then mean that he needs to leave office automatically.
So after that motion, the president, after that motion is passed and a resolution thereof, the president, according to the constitution, may decide to revoke the appointment of the minister, right? It is not compulsory. But the argument has been that if 183 MPs in parliament say we don't want something, and the president is stubborn and does not sack that minister, his business is going to suffer. Because 183 means some members of the majority joining some members of the majority, NPP MPs, joining the minority. I don't think any president will want to do that. But that is still open out there. If on Thursday, this motion succeeds.
And we've seen some of the arguments from Alexander Venyomakin, for instance, on the constitutional nature of how we're dealing with this matter. Indeed,
he has been raising some consistent issues with how the motion has been advertised on the other paper. He raised the first concern. The speaker overruled him. He made a second one the next day when the Speaker of Parliament himself, About Bagbin, was not there, had traveled. The Deputy Speaker refused to grant him those and said that the Speaker had already ruled on that and that if he wanted to challenge it, he knew how to do so by substantive motion. So it appears as though that leg is gone. The Speaker of Parliament himself is not around. He's expected to return to the country on Wednesday. If he's back on Wednesday, it means on Thursday he will be in the chair, and I'm certain some constitutional issues will be raised on the preliminary basis, after which the vote will now be taken, a debate from both sides, and whether or not the finance minister brings in some lawyers or some experts to come and argue his case. But it's going to be very interesting on Thursday to see how that pan out and whether or not this secret vote will lead to the finance minister losing his job.
He's 63 today.
He's 63 today. Happy birthday to Mr. Ken Ofori Atta.
Well, I wasn't expecting that from Kweku Asante, but that's our parliamentary correspondent giving us the very latest on the motion unfolding in Parliament. You're watching The Pulse on the JoyNews channel. When we return, we have some special conversations coming your way. Please stay.